World War One, a presentation by Nicholas Haymore, Reggie Smith, and Gabe Campbell.
How did the war start? Who were the major contenders in the war? What sort of innovations were made in both weapons and technology? What effects would the war have on the world after it ended? This presentation will answer all of these questions and give you a little more background information on World War One.
It all began with the assassination of Archduke Francis Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Francis was visiting the recently annexed Sarajevo, Bosnia, when a 19-year-old Serbian nationalist, Gavrilo Princip, shot Francis and his wife, Sophie, dead in their car. This event would escalate problems between nations and would be the leading cause to the start of World War One.
After the assassination, tension between Austria-Hungary and Serbia rose. This would lead to Russia taking the side of Serbia. Germany, on the other hand, promised to back Austria-Hungary if the two would ever go to war. Eventually, this would lead to the creation of both the Triple Entity and the Triple Alliance. The Triple Entity was the combined forces of France, Russia, and Great Britain. However, the Triple Alliance was the union between Austria-Hungary, Italy, and Germany. Eventually, the Triple Entity would gain allies as the war raged on. These allies included Japan, the US, and eventually Italy, who was sided with the Triple Alliance at the start of the war. This shift in power would eventually lead to the defeat of both Germany and Austria-Hungary.
The ongoing war between the nations led to the innovations in technology and warfare. Fritz Haber, a German Nobel-winning chemist, is the man responsible for bringing most, if not all, the different types of chemical weapons to the war front, such as tear, chlorine, phosgene, and mustard gas. To counteract the gases, soldiers used a urine-stained cloth to filter out the poison. This would eventually lead to the production of filter respirators, or gas masks. Another huge advancement in warfare was the flamethrower. It came in two models, the Flammenwerfer and the Grossflammenwerfer, which were both designed by German scientist Richard Fielder. The Flammenwerfer was designed for portable use, unlike the Grossflammenwerfer, which was twice as powerful but was a hassle to transport to the war front. The Flammenwerfer was useful on the battlefield and it clearing out trenches. However, the men that used them had to carry gas tanks, which made them a huge target on the battlefield. The machine gun was also innovated during the war. In fact, each country practically had its own version by the end of the war, such as the Maschinengewehr, which was manufactured by Germany. The Maschinengewehr was based off the Maxim gun, a water-cooled and self-propelled machine gun. However, all versions suffered from the same issues, such as overheating and constant jamming. The landship or tank was also invented during the war. The original tank was based on the design of steam-powered tractors, which used caterpillar tracks to move around rough terrain. The first tank that was manufactured was nicknamed Little Willie, as it could only carry up to 3 people in cramped conditions. Eventually, the tank would be improved enough to make trench warfare redundant and restore movement to the battlefield.
After the war ended, 9 million soldiers were confirmed dead and over 21 million were wounded. Civilian casualties were estimated around 10 million. Although this hurt all nations, it specifically wounded both France and Germany as they had sent 80% of the male population into the war. A positive result of the war was the creation of the CWC, or the Chemical Weapons Convention. The CWC is an international treaty that bans all use of chemical weapons and prohibits all development, stockpiling, and acquirements of these weapons. The war also led to the end of quite a few empires such as Germany, Turkey, Russia, and Austria-Hungary. In addition, Japan rose in power and would eventually become a major contender in World War II. The Treaty of Versailles officially ended World War I. This treaty was created between nations to prevent further wars of world scale from happening. However, this would fail as the unfair treatment and war reparations, practically forced upon Germany, would soon be one of the causes of World War II.
This is the end of our presentation. Here are our sources.